Hey guys, welcome back. Today, we're talking about how President Donald Trump has done it again. As you'll see in this photograph, Donald Trump is sitting there wearing what looks like an Xbox 360 Turtle Beach headset, commanding the military of the United States to take out some bad guys over across the sea. Fortunately for all of us, America is once again not afraid to use her firepower for the safety of the free world. Now, that might sound controversial because America has been stuck in this military-industrial complex situation for a very long time. Everybody knows the Iraq War, the Afghanistan War. They were all pushed on for way too long because of the military-industrial complex. But the fact of the matter remains that it is America's job, because we're the only ones willing and able to do it, to protect the seas of the world from piracy and also to stop people who are trying to go after American citizens. Now, for the past 4 years under Biden, the government kind of neglected their duties. Piracy went rampant in Yemen, and Americans were captured and attacked and hurt in terrible ways all over the world. It's actually terrible what was happening. Nobody was defending Americans across the globe. So, while I don't usually get too political, I will say that I'm very happy to see an American president actually doing something to put a stop to the attacks on Americans across the world. I do think it's the duty of the President of the United States to protect American interests wherever they are. And so how's President Trump doing that? Well, you see, last night he announced on his Truth Social. Now, I don't have a Truth Social account, but I do have the reposts that people put on X. And he said on March 14th, "Today, the fugitive leader of ISIS in Iraq was killed. He was relentlessly hunted down by our intrepid warfighters. His miserable life was terminated, along with another member of ISIS, in coordination with the Iraqi government and the Kurdish regional government. Peace through strength." Now, that's not a typical statement that would be put out by a United States president in the past, but Trump certainly is unique, and I don't think anybody can criticize him for going after the leader of ISIS and taking out that threat to the American public. Obviously, the leader of ISIS is not a good guy, and nobody wants him around. I think most Americans, if you polled them, would be 100% okay with taking out the leader of ISIS. But what gets me, right, is every time Trump does something like this, he has somebody go on the White House Twitter and just throw up the American flag. "Today, the fugitive leader of ISIS in Iraq was killed. His miserable life was terminated," and then the American flag, as big as can be. There's something poetic about that. I don't know what it is about that, but I really like that. I think that we should start doing that more. Whenever America wins something around the world, we should just start throwing up the flag. However, going after the leader of ISIS and terminating his life was not the only thing that President Trump did the other day. He's had a very busy couple days. You see, the president went on to declare that the United States would no longer stand for the Houthi piracy and terrorism that they have constantly been conducting in the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden over the past few years. Trump said, "Today I have ordered the United States military to launch a decisive and powerful military action against the Houthi terrorists in Yemen. They have waged an unrelenting campaign of piracy, violence, and terrorism against American and other ships, aircraft, and drones." Joe Biden's response was pathetically weak. True. So the unrestrained Houthis just kept going. It has been over a year since a US-flagged commercial ship safely sailed through the Suez Canal, the Red Sea, or the Gulf of Aden. The last American warship to go through the Red Sea 4 months ago was attacked by the Houthis over a dozen times. Funded by Iran, the Houthi thugs have fired missiles at US aircraft and targeted our troops and allies. These relentless assaults have cost the US and world economy many billions of dollars, while at the same time putting innocent lives at risk. The Houthi attack on American vessels will not be tolerated. We will use overwhelming lethal force until we have achieved our objective. The Houthis have choked off shipping in one of the most important waterways of the world, grinding vast swaths of global commerce to a halt, and attacking the core principle of freedom of navigation, upon which international trade and commerce depends. Our brave warfighters are right now carrying out aerial attacks on the terrorist bases, leaders, and missile defenses to protect American shipping, air, and naval assets, and to restore navigational freedom. No terrorist force will stop the American commercial and naval vessels from freely sailing the waterways of the world. To all Houthi terrorists, your time is up, and your attacks must stop. Starting today, if they don't, hell will rain down upon you like nothing you have ever seen before. To Iran, support for the Houthi terrorists must end immediately. Do not threaten the American people, their president, who has received one of the largest mandates in the presidential history, or worldwide shipping lanes. If you do, beware, because America will hold you fully accountable, and we won't be nice about it. Now, this is the kind of statement I want to see from a president, at least up until this point. If he left this off, it would be a very presidential statement, but he always has to throw the jabs in. Obviously, going after Iran is important, and I don't think he's wrong in doing that, but just adding in the part where he's the president who has received one of the largest mandates in presidential history is a bit much. However, I do think this is how America should approach foreign policy. This is just a YouTube channel where I normally talk about YouTube drama, but I do want to say that I think that if there's terrorists out there that are attacking American people, then it's our job to get rid of them, right? If there's people out there that are stalking the high seas and committing piracy and stopping American ships from traversing the world, I think it's our job to deal with them. In fact, that's the entire reason the Navy was created. That's why we fought the 2 Barbary Wars against the Barbary pirates, because navigational freedom and the ability of free trade across the world is very important to America, because we're the only big country in North America, and let's be honest, honest, most of the countries in North and South America are not exactly the best trade partners, but I do think this is a good first step. And one of the things that I really enjoyed about this was when they went through and they put up all these posts, they also threw up some pictures, right? So we saw the first picture here. This one is this is Trump watching and commanding attacks on the Houthis in Yemen. And just take a look at this fit. He's got an Xbox 360 era headset on. He's wearing a Make America Great Again hat that he himself signed with his own name. So he's wearing his own signed hat. He's wearing the belt and he's gripping it like he's getting ready for war. It's in black and white. And this guy here is just like looking at a screen showing Trump a bunch of terrorists getting attacked by the American military. This is an insane photo. This is the reason I wanted to make this video, because this photo is crazy. It's also got crazy aura, not gonna lie. When was the last time we had a president able to take photos like this? Because this is kind of an iconic photo. They would have had to wake Joe Biden up for a couple minutes to take a photo like this, and I don't think Joe Biden was ever awake long enough to take a photo like this. And it's not the only one. There's other photos that they posted too. So here's the color version of Trump, which has a little more aura because it's a lot more obvious in this. Not only is he wearing his signed hat, but he's also wearing the Trump branded shirt, which again, you gotta love it. And then if we go over here to another picture, you got Trump 45 and he's watching something going on the other screen. And then there's just a few more pictures of senators that I'm not gonna bother to show. I just like the way that Trump's doing this. I mean, you might dislike Trump on a lot of things, but you can't say that he's not effective at dealing with the enemies of America. I mean, at the end of his last term, ISIS was basically gone. So they built up in the time in between when we had a president who was kind of just sleeping through the entire thing. And you can say a lot about Trump, but the guy's not sleeping through the presidency. I swear, Trump does more live streams. He goes out in front of the press and talks to the press more than actual live streamers, more than like Asmongold goes live, right? He's out there. He's always talking to people. I just thought this was interesting. I really like this photograph. That's why I had to make this video. Thank you guys for watching all the way to the end. What do you think about all this? Let me know in the comments. Remember to like and subscribe. Have a great day and God bless you.